Hey, what's up? I'm back. This is part 3. All right, 3. Hey, yo, listen. I think I can get the rest of this on this video. But regardless, we'll address it accordingly. Man, keep focused. Practice. As fast as first is out. Okay. All right. We're gonna pick up this one at number 22. So here we go. Number 22, of course. Okay. Hey, check this out. Here we're multiplying the complex numbers because these are two binomials being multiplied. So let's FOIL. All right, we're going to FOIL. All right, first outside, inside, last. So we got 3 times 2. All right, that's 6. Then 3 times 9i. That's going to be positive 27i. Then we have negative 5i times 2. That's negative 10i. And then you have negative 5i times the positive 9i, that's negative 45i squared, because I times I squared. Now, hey, we gotta combine like terms. So it's gonna be 6 plus 27i minus 10i is 17i. Alright, 27i minus 10i, 17i. Alright, minus 45 times negative 1. And why negative 1? Because I squared is negative 1. Now we have 6 plus 17i plus 45, because again, negative 45 times negative 1 is 45. And then finally, combining like terms, 6 plus 45 is going to be 51 plus 17i. Alright, final answer. Here, all right, we're going to distribute. All right, negative 12 times 3 plus 4i. So negative 12 times 3 is a negative 36. And we have negative 12 times 4i. That's going to be a negative 48i. All right. There's no i's here. There's no I squared. So final answer. Over here, we're going to FOIL again. All right. We have 4 times 6. That's going to be 24. Then 4 times negative 8i. That's going to be negative 32i. Then negative 7i times 6 is negative 42i. And negative 7i and negative 8i is going to be a positive 56i squared. Again, negative and a negative is a positive. Now, we're going to go 24, combine like terms right here. That's going to be negative 74i. Sorry about that. Negative 74i. All right, 32, negative 32i minus 42i is negative 74i. All right, and then right here we have minus 56i squared, guys, equals negative 1. So negative 1 times 56 is negative 56. Now, when we combine like terms, we have 24 minus 56. It's going to be negative 32 minus 74i. All right, final answer right there, okay? All right. Let's have a look at number, 25. All right, well, 25, ooh, look at that, the whole page disappeared. I just want to clear the ink from the page, okay? So now with 25, guys, we got 2 minus 4i squared. All right, so with that being said, that squared tells me I need to write that twice. So 2 minus 4i times 2 minus 4i, all right? So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times negative 4i is negative 8i. Negative 8i times 2 is negative 8. Whoa. Did you see what I did? Negative 4i times 2 is negative 8i. And negative 4i minus 4i is a positive 16i squared. Now, 4, combine like terms, negative 8i minus 8i is negative 16i. And I squared is negative 1. So negative 1 times positive 16 is negative 16. Combine like terms, you have these constants. 4 minus 16 is going to be negative 12 minus 16i. Okay, final answer right there. right here. Ooh. Guys, these are conjugates. See how this is plus 3i, 2 plus 3i, 2 minus 3i? All right, if you remember that helpful hint, you know you can do first time first and last time last, and that'll be it. All right, but for the sake of doing this, I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times negative 3i is negative 6i. 3i times 2 is positive 6i. And 3i times negative 3i is negative 9i squared. Now, negative 6i plus 6i, of course, got to see how those are the same values. Positive, negative, they cancel. So I have 4 plus 9. Remember, I squared equals negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 9 is positive 9, which is 4 plus 9. Oh, 4 plus 9 is 13. Ha! I was about to do 4 minus 9, I wrote 5. And it should have been negative 5. But anyway, 4 plus 9 is 13. All right. And that beat you here, that's a nice beat. Nice beat. I like that beat. Anyway, 5 plus 3i squared. Again, it's squared, so we got to write it twice. 5 plus 3i times 5 plus 3i. Go ahead and FOIL. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 3i is going to be positive 15i. 3i times 5 is positive 15i. And 3i times 3i is a positive 9i squared. Now remember, I squared is negative 1. So you have 25 combined like terms right here. That's positive 30i. And I squared is negative 1. So negative 1 times 9 is negative 9. And you have 25 minus 9. That's 16 plus 30i. Final answer right there. So that's multiplying complex numbers. All right, multiplying complex numbers. Let's keep it going. 28. Woohoo, moving along. Complex conjugates. Now remember, guys, complex conjugates. First of all, I would put it in standard form, a plus bi, so I can manipulate the right number. You always change the operation in front of the imaginary number. So 2i is the imaginary number. The operation in front of the imaginary number is plus. So to find the conjugate, I'm going to change that plus to a minus. So 6 minus 2i. This is standard form, a plus bi. Okay? Imaginary number second, real number first. Over here, real number, imaginary number. So the imaginary number is second. This is the standard form. So now you ask yourself, what's the sign in front of the standard? What's the sign in front of the complex number, or the imaginary number? Excuse me. Well, it's negative. So we're going to change that sign right there. This is the imaginary part. We change that sign for the conjugate into a plus. So negative 9 plus 4i is the conjugate. For this one, notice this is not in standard form, a plus bi. All right, this is written as bi, all right, minus a. So fix this, swap it around. All right, if I swap this around, it's negative 2 plus 4i. All right, it's still positive. See how it's positive? It's still positive. See how that's negative? It's still negative. Now take the conjugate. What's the conjugate? What has to change? That sign in front of the imaginary value. All right, so when I change that sign in front of the imaginary value, that operation sign, it's negative 2 minus 4i. This, guys, is the conjugate of this. All right, that's the conjugate of that, okay? All right. Let's see here. It says, what is the product of the complex numbers above being multiplied by the conjugates? Oh, okay, cool. So they're basically telling us to multiply a conjugate by its conjugate. So I'm going to show the conjugates right here. If I take 6 plus 2i and multiply it by 6 minus 2i, first of all, you're always going to get a whole number. All right. So let's go ahead and FOIL this out. You get 6 times 6, 36. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12i. 2i times 6 is positive 12i. And 2i times negative 2i is negative 4i squared. See these right here, negative 12i and 12i, it's going to cancel. So I have 36 plus 4. And the reason it's plus 4 is because I squared is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. 36 plus 4 is 40. Always going to get a whole number when you multiply a number by its conjugate. Remember here, we said that the conjugate is negative 9 plus 4i. Alright, so now let's multiply. Negative 9 times negative 9 is 81. Negative 9 times 4i is going to be a negative 36i. And 4i times negative 9 is a positive, negative 4i times negative 9 is a positive 36i. And negative 4i and positive 4i is a negative 16i squared. Now, negative 36i and positive 36i cancels. So it's 81 minus 16i squared. Or actually, let's go ahead and just do it. 81 plus 16. Because remember, I squared is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 16 is a positive 16. So you have 81 plus 16 is going to be 97. Now, this one right here, its conjugate is negative 2 minus 4i. Alright, so let's fold it out. You have 4i times negative 2, that's going to be negative 8i. Alright, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Nah, let's just do it. That's negative 8i. Alright, negative 4i times negative 4i is going to be a positive 16i squared. Negative 2 and negative 2 is going to be positive 4. And negative 2 times negative 4 is going to be a positive 8i. Alright, now, like terms, I got negative 8i and positive 8i. Those cancel. Alright, and then I have 16i squared. Well, that's negative 1. I squared is negative 1. So 16 times negative 1 is negative 16 plus 4. And that is definitely negative 12. Okay, negative 12. Now, let me ask you something. I bet you sat here and copied this whole problem and didn't realize the mistake I made. Alright, do you see the mistake? I'm going to show you. Let's backtrack some. Because that is not the correct answer. Oops, I want you to see the mistake I made. That's why it's important to check over yourself. Here's the mistake I made, guys. Right here. Remember negative, when you do 4i times negative 4i? That should be negative 16i squared. Alright, there we go, negative 16i squared. So now, anyway, I squared is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 16 becomes positive 16. Then you have plus 4, which is 20. Sorry about that. I'm glad I caught that. Because good night. Some of you guys be in the comment section like, go, that's all wrong. Nah, I caught myself. Now, y'all look at this next question, 34. 34 says, what kind of number was produced every time the complex number was multiplied by its conjugate? Remember, and I say this all the time in class, when you multiply a conjugate by its conjugate, alright, you get a real number. Real number, okay? Alrighty, picking good time for this video. I'm so excited because I get to do this next part. Alright, oh, it's telling me right now to stay space. So let's go ahead and dig in. Right here, write the expression as a complex number in standard form. Guys, please always find the complex conjugate of the denominator. The denominator is the bottom, not the top, the bottom. Alright, so if this is positive 5i, the sign right here is positive, so it's going to be negative 5i. That is the conjugate of the denominator, negative 5i. Now, distribute right here at the top, negative 5i, because guys, this is multiplication. So I'll put that dot right there. Negative 5i times 10 minus 5i. Alright, negative 5i times 10 is negative 50i. And negative 5i times negative 15i is going to be a positive, 75i squared, okay? Now down at the bottom, you have 5i times negative 5i, that's negative 25i squared, alright? Now, first of all, I squared is negative 1, so I have negative 50i minus 75, because negative 1 times positive 75 is negative 75. Alright, all over negative 1 times negative 25 is 25. Now ask yourself, what does all these numbers have in common? I think it's pretty clear, 25, right? So I'm going to factor out 25 out of all these. Alright, negative 75 divided by 25 is 3. Negative 3, actually. Negative 50i divided by 25 is a negative 2i. And 25 divided by 25 is just 1. So you can write it like this, or you can simplify the stuff further and go negative 3 minus 2i. Alright, because anything over 1 is itself, okay? Now, I'm going to erase so you can have more space, or I can have more space to work. So if this is bothering you, then make sure you pause it before I did this. Alright. Now, let's see what we got here. We got 8i divided by, actually, I'm going to do this because I need to clear the whole screen, actually. There we go. We have 8i all over 6 plus 7i. Multiplied by the conjugate of the denominator again. This is 6 plus 7i. This is in standard form. So the time that changes, look at the imaginary part, identify the operation sign, that's what changed. So it's 6 minus 7i. Alright, now distribute up top and FOIL at the bottom. Alright, you got 8i times 6. 8i times 6 is going to be 48i, and 8i times negative 7i is a negative 56i squared. Down at the bottom, alright, see how these are conjugates of each other? Remember, you're going to get a real number. Alright, so for the sake of this, most of you guys remember that you can do the first terms and the last terms, but I'm going to FOIL the whole thing just for the sake of time. Now, yeah, let's just do it. 6 times 6, 36. 6 times negative 7i is negative 42i. 7i times 6 is positive 42i. And 7i times negative 7i is negative 49i squared. Now, remember, I squared is negative 1. So you have 48i plus 56. That's negative 1 times negative 56 is positive. And down here you have 36. See this cancel, guys, right here, just like we did up there on the previous problems. Conjugate times conjugate, that middle always cancels. Alright, and again, the I squared is negative 1. So that's going to be positive 49. Okay, and you end up with 48i plus 56. Actually, you know what? Let me write that in standard form. You actually get 56 plus 48i all over 85. Okay, now last problem. All right, last couple minutes. Let's dig right in. Again, got to multiply by the conjugate. All right, since the conjugate is, since this is 2 minus 3i, again, look at the imaginary value, 3i, the operation sign in front, that's a negative, so we're going to change it to a positive. So 2 plus 3i. Like that. I'm going to do it at the top and the bottom. 2 plus 3i. Now, we're going to FOIL the top. All right, 4 times 2, 8. 4 times 3i, that's going to be positive 12i. Negative 5i times 2 is negative 10i. And negative 5i and positive 3i is negative 15i squared. All right, down at the bottom, let me show you the trick, okay? Remember, I'm not going to fold this whole thing out this time. You can, you're going to get the same thing. But see how they're conjugates of each other? Because they're conjugates of each other, you can just do the first term times the first term. So 2 times 2 is 4. And you can do the last term by the last term. This only applies with the denominator of these type of problems. All right? Conjugates of a conjugate. All right? See how up here these two are not conjugates? I have to do the whole thing. These down here are conjugates. So I can do the first term by the first term and the last term by the last term. So negative 3i plus 3i is negative 9i squared. All right? Now we're going to simplify everything. We have 8, 12i minus 10i is positive 2i, and I squared is negative 1, so negative 1 times negative 15 is positive 15. At the bottom, I squared is negative 1, so negative 1 times negative 9 is positive 9. All right, taking it a step further, we have 8 and 15. That's going to be 23 plus 2i. And at the bottom, you have 9 and 4, that's 13. None of these have similar factors, so common factors, so there we go. Final answer. Okay, that concludes this video, guys. 3 videos for the test review. Man, I hope they help. I really do. Man, all I can tell you is to practice. All right? Practice, practice, practice. And I wish you the best. I pray this sticks in the old noggin. Okay? I wish you the best, man. Peace.